Okay everyone, we are doing a special video for Sarah and Richard. I just got back from my mission and I haven't been here for a while and I don't know much, so we're about to get the full scoop of Sarah and Richard Turner. Alright, here we go! Alright, Richard, how did you meet the love of your life, Sarah?
So we were at Institute in the choir, and I had no idea who she was, but I had a friend who was really nervous that the guy that she liked was going to hit on Sarah, and so she asked me to go and flirt with Sarah in front of him to deter him from talking to her. And
did you want to flirt with her?
Actually, yeah. I didn't know that's who she was talking about, though. Okay. So I already had premeditated plans to go over and talk to her and ask her on a date. So it worked out perfectly that she asked me to go talk to her. And when I went over, I was really nervous. And the first couple things that we started talking about didn't have anything to do with anything at all because I was nervous. And then it just happened. We just started talking like normal, and I asked her on a date for that weekend, and she told me she couldn't go until midnight. So that was kind of fun.
The ballpark.
And we hit it right out of the ballpark.
I met him in the Institute choir. Do you want more details than that?
Yes. I wasn't here. How did it happen? What happened?
I was in choir and I sat next to him on the back row. He goofed off a lot. Started talking to me and hit it off.
You went up to him first?
No, he talked to me. I'm way too shy for that. Tell us about your first date, Richard.
My first date ever?
With Sarah.
Oh, okay. My first date with Sarah, because it was so late, it was hard to find something that was open to be able to do. So I went to her house and picked her up at midnight because she just barely got off of work. And I was really nervous, especially when I met Cam and Mike. I think my hands were shaking a little bit. And I had set up a plan that we would go stargazing. And
First date?
First date, stargazing. And that we'd have kind of just some snacks, nothing like real fancy, but just something simple because it was so late that I could still get her home on time. So I guess on time isn't really, it doesn't really apply at that point. But picked her up and we went up Emigration Canyon, and we were with a couple of friends. Threw out some blankets and went stargazing, and she actually ended up falling asleep. And she was cold, so she cuddled up as close as she possibly could to me, which for a first date, I was like, woo, this is moving pretty quick, but I like it. So actually while she was asleep, I was watching the stars to see if there was actually a shooting star, and I didn't see any because I was gonna make a wish. But don't make fun of me. But while she was asleep, even though it was the first date, I kissed her on the head. And after like another 20 minutes, we woke her up, and headed down the mountain, took her home and dropped her off.
So 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, best date ever.
Wow, okay, so our first date was, I don't remember when, it was like 2014. I worked at the university guest house at a time, and so I got off of work like 11:30 at night, but Richard was determined to take me on a date, and so he picked me up around midnight, and we drove up Immigration Canyon, and we laid out a blanket. There was the two of us and our friends Nathan and Rachel, and we fell asleep. I remember I was really cold, so I just snuggled up to him, and we slept till about 3 in the morning, and then we were driving home and I fell asleep in the car and put my head down on his lap and I fell asleep. And that was our first date. It kind of is like the epitome of a relationship because we're usually just sleep.
So what?
Did he fall asleep when you were stargazing?
I assume so. I definitely fell asleep first.
Did you feel something on your forehead?
No.
Okay.
I was gone. I was really tired.
So you'd say it was a 10 out of 10 date?
Yeah. I slept through it. So I don't know if it'd be 10 out of 10 because I feel like if it's a really, really good date, you'd be awake through it. But it was, like, I mean, it kicked off a good relationship, so.
Well, yeah, we're here now.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you saw her walk into the institute class that day, what was the first thing that caught your eye?
First thing that caught my eye was actually her eyes.
Aww. First thing.
He was loud. Not that it's a bad thing. He was really friendly. Everyone seemed to like him, and everyone knew him. He's just everywhere, all at once. That was the first thing I noticed about him.
And did you like that?
Yeah, that's a trait that that I find attractive. Someone who's friendly and outgoing and personable. I think that's a really good thing to have.
Perfect.
What advice would you give others that are dating?
Be honest.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Like, don't pretend. Don't put on a facade. Like, just be honest. Be who you are, and the right person will come along.
Don't fart until the second date. At least.
At least, especially if you're Richard, because they're stinky.
Hey. No, definitely don't listen to everything everybody else says, and make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
Why are you marrying Sarah? Why do you want to marry her?
I want to marry Sarah because from that very first date, even from the first time I talked to her, there was always something special there. She always reminded me a little bit, I guess, I don't want to say of myself, but she had a lot of the qualities that I had set on my mission as to the person that I did want to marry. She speaks Spanish. But deep down, it's just the more time we've gotten to know each other, more and more and more I fall in love with her. Every day that goes by, I fall in love with her more. And I don't want to waste a single second without her, ever, in my life.
Amen.
I need to wake up, I need me some love, now give it to me, 'cause everyone...
Sarah, why are you marrying Richard?
Simplest answer is that I love him. I've loved him for a long time. Our story's a little bit different than most people's, but I think that's what makes our relationship so unique, and I think that's the coolest part. He fits me perfectly. Like, there's no one else I can be myself with more than him, and so I can be my dumb, goofy self. I can cry at Chick-fil-A. He gets me, and it's really cool finding someone that you just click with so well, and he's such a good man. He's such a kind heart. I love him.
Amen.
But I fall helplessly for you, for you.
Keeps trying to tell me when to cut and when not to, and I'm just...
I'm the director. You
You're
listen
the
to
interviewer.
me.
You're the interviewer.
McKay's the director. Children?
No, that's a dumb question.
Who farted first? Shout out to Brooke Hussey.
Don't give a shout out.
Shout out to McKay, Hussey.
All the back.
I'm the director.
He still farts first.
Ew.
Like,